How you guys doing? It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. I'm James Sims out here in this quarantine, and for this episode, I was gonna get into something that because of the quarantine, everyone kind of just overlooks, and is just I don't know how they're gonna do it, but it's just I've always been someone that's followed high school recruiting, just like who goes there, who goes where, because you can kind of see which college football programs are going to get really, really nice really soon. So for this episode, I'm just going to take you through at least the top 10, the top recruiting classes in the nation, and then just like talking over. I just wonder, because I wonder how all of this recruiting is done, because of course they've played their football games, they have enough footage, they have enough film for recruiters to find them and be aware of what they're able to do on a football field. So I think it's really interesting, and because everyone's supposed to stay inside, and it looks like high school football might be canceled this season in America, like as if everything goes as is. A lot of games probably won't, but I don't know. I'm really curious as to all this. So my source for a lot of recruiting is my main one is 24/7 Sports, which is affiliated with CBS. I do it because the individual players, it kind of shows where they're leaning, and a lot of times it'll be a bit off, but more than likely, 24/7 is really really accurate with getting their players, and I like the way they're actually able to put together the top classes, and they can show you like which individual players are within those classes that make their class so dominant. So, of course, the biggest fish as of right now out of the for the class of 2021, because this is the incoming senior class. It's Ohio State. As of according to 24/7 Sports, they already have 4 5 stars. They have Jack Sawyer, a defensive end from Ohio, Travion Henderson, a running back from Virginia, Donovan Jackson, a guard from Texas, and Kyle McCord, a quarterback from Pennsylvania, from Philly. I mean, they have a bunch of other top-rated 5 star or top-rated 4 stars. I mean, from the looks of it, they already have 6, 7 more 4 stars before they even get out of the top 100 of prospects. Right now, they have, according to 24/7 Sports, they have 19 commits, 4 of them being 5 stars, 12 4 stars. The only team that's anywhere close to Ohio State in terms of recruiting for this summer is Alabama. And Alabama, of course, has their 4 5 stars, and they have nine, or they have their 4 5 stars, and they have 9 4 stars as well. Um, Out of the 5 stars, they have an offensive tackle, Tommy Brockermeyer from Texas. They have a defensive tackle, Damon Payne from Michigan. They have J.C. Latham, an offensive tackle from Florida, from IMG Academy. And they also got a wide receiver from Florida, Ja'Cory Brooks. And of course, with Nick Saban and Urban Meyer, or now it's Ryan Day, I'm sorry. But these two coaches have really been dominating the game. And Ryan Day has been an amazing coach ever since Urban Meyer handed over the keys. Dude, Ohio State and Alabama are the two, and then of course Clemson's always in it, and this year they definitely can catch up. To me, it's really Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson that are really winning these recruiting battles. With Dabo and Nick Saban and Ryan Day, I think they're the 3 premier programs. Even just looking at Clemson, like they're able to get a 5 star all-purpose back out of North Carolina, Will Shipley. And they have a bunch of other top-rated 4 stars that are still in the top 100 within their prospect pool. To me, as it's those 3 teams at the very top, and even just looking at the rest, Oregon has an amazing class this year. This is probably one of the better classes that I've seen Oregon have. They have according to 24/7, they have a 5 star, and they have 12 4 stars in their class, 18 total commits. Right behind them, they listed Tennessee, who has 24 commits right now, 14 of them being 3 stars, and 9 of them being 4 stars, and 1 5 star. Pretty big class for them so far. Of course, the big names rounding out to the top 10, you have LSU, USC, Michigan. You have UNC, a rare team in there that you don't see a lot, and you have Miami. It looks like Miami's jumping back in the mix. And of course, filling out, you have Florida at 11, Texas at 12, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas A&M, Wisconsin, Iowa, Maryland, Louisville, Auburn, Florida State, Washington, Arizona State, and Minnesota. to round out the top 25, and that's as of right now. That's as of today. And of course, people commit and decommit every single day, but as of right now, that's what the top 25 in terms of recruiting is looking like. And I mean, those are the guys that committed. 24/7 shows a lot of these top players that are leaning mostly to top schools. Some of them being USC, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, but these are players that haven't committed yet because they haven't started their senior year. But even going in with the quarantine, a lot of this nation's top class is they've already committed by now before starting their senior year, which is a smart move. But I like what they're doing, and to be honest, we never know which of these names that they're going to call. We have no idea which of these players is going to go on to being one of the greatest football players that has ever played the game. Well, so like according to 24/7 Sports, the 5 stars, they have the first one is a defensive end from Centennial High School in LA. I know Centennial, they give Loyola a hard time every once in a while. But Corey Foreman, it says he's leaning towards USC. He's the top prospect according to this, and they say he might stay in. The number 2 is JT Tuimoloau, who's a defensive end from Washington, and they say that he's leaning towards Ohio State. The top committed player is Jack Sawyer, the defensive end from Ohio, who's going to go play at Ohio State. And following him, the top-rated quarterback is a dual-threat quarterback named Caleb Williams from Gonzaga Prep in Washington, D.C., who's already committed to playing in Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. He's the top-rated quarterback at his position, at least so far. Top-rated pro-style quarterback, according to this, is Sam Heward, who is coming out of the state of Washington, who's already committed to go play at Washington. In addition to him, there are the other 5-star QBs. You have J.J. McCarthy, a pro-style QB, already committed to University of Michigan. And also you have Kyle McCord from Philly, who I just said earlier, just committed to Ohio State. And then those are the 5-star pro quarterbacks. Going to the dual threats, it's Caleb Williams, and then there's Brock Vandegrift, who is a dual threat quarterback from Bogart, Georgia, who went to commit to go play at UGA, go to play with Kirby Smart. And then out of the running backs, out of the 3 5-star running backs, you have Travion Henderson, who I said earlier, who's the running back from Virginia who committed to Ohio State. Behind him is Kamar Wheaton, who's coming out of Garland, Texas, who 24/7 Sports is saying he's more than likely 100% going to commit to Oklahoma before it's all said and done. And behind him, it's Will Shipley, the all-purpose back, who 24/7 Sports says is going to go play at Clemson. Moving on to the wide receivers, 24/7 Sports is a listed Emeka Egbuka, sorry if I butchered your name, from Washington as the top-rated wide receiver, and they say he's leaning towards going to Ohio State. He hasn't committed yet. The top committed wide receiver, according to this, is Ja'Cory Brooks from Miami, who they say is going to commit to Alabama. And after him, they have Troy Franklin listed as the third 5-star receiver from Menlo in Northern California, and he's committed to go play at Oregon for the next year. Big players. And I think a lot of these players may enroll kind of early, but I'm not completely sure. Going to the offensive line, look at the offensive linemen. The top-rated offensive lineman is Tommy Brockermeyer, number 5th overall player, who's already committed to go play at Alabama. He plays tackle. After him is Amarius Mims from Cochran, Georgia, who 24/7 Sports says is going to go play at UGA. He's the number 6 overall prospect. The next after him is Tristan Lay, an offensive a tackle out of Virginia, who they say who looks as though he's going to commit towards Clemson more than any other school. And also they have Nolan Rookie, who is an offensive tackle from Pennsylvania. They say he's leaning towards Penn State, but it's more 50-50 between them and them and Wisconsin. I have no idea. And then following him, you have J.C. Latham, who's the number 16 overall prospect, who's an offensive tackle from IMG Academy, committed to go play at Alabama. And the top-rated offensive guard in the class is Donovan Jackson from Bel Air, Texas, who's committed to go play at Ohio State for Ryan Day next year. Moving to the defensive side of the line, in addition to Corey Foreman, JT Tuimoloau, and Jack Sawyer, another 5-star defensive end that is committed, a defensive tackle, excuse me, is Damon Payne, who I said earlier is committed to Alabama. And following Payne, the second rated defensive tackle in the class is Mason Smith from Louisiana, who they're saying is 100% going to commit to LSU. And also they say Leonard Taylor from Miami, Florida is 100% about to commit to Miami. And moving to the linebackers, their 24/7 has only listed two linebackers as 5 stars. It said Terrence Lewis out of Miami, Florida, who committed to Tennessee, who is the number 10 overall player. They're saying that he's a 5-star prospect, and the other 5-star linebacker is Smael Mondon. Sorry if I got your name. He's from Dallas, Georgia, who they're saying is going to 100% commit to Georgia eventually. I mean, they're saying it's a matter of time before he does. And then moving to the DBs, the top DB in the class is Gaquincy McKinstry from Pinson, Alabama, who they're saying it looks as though he's going to commit to Auburn or Alabama. They have no idea as to where. I mean, his recruitment is still up for grabs, according to 24/7 Sports. And the other top corner in this class is Jason Marshall from Miami, Florida, who they're saying it looks as though he's more than likely going to commit to Miami. And also they have the athletes that they're saying are either positionless or play on both sides of the ball. You can really kind of place them anywhere. They said that James Williams, the number 9 overall player, committed to Miami. They're saying he's the top rated athlete. And he's another kid from Florida going to Miami. And in addition to him, the other athlete that was rated as a 5-star, Jatavion Sanders, is committed to go play at Texas next season. I mean, that's the way, and those are the top 5 rated prospects as I broke them down really by position. It was just because it's a good crop of players, and there are so many 4-stars that go that are just going unnoticed that will eventually become household names that we'll know about. But these are the 5 stars that are listed by 24/7 Sports, and that's kind of where they're leaning. And with that, I don't have much more to say. With quarantine, I'm really curious as to see how the recruiting process will go if some of these kids will not be able to play high school ball. I think it'll be difficult, but I think it's good that a lot of these guys have committed by now. Just so now they can just focus on getting their mind and their body right for when they move on to school, rather than having to risk their safety to try to play a football game with a worldwide pandemic when it's not safe to. But once again, congratulations to all of these recruits for being able to do what they did, showing up every single day, putting in all that work, and they were being recognized by 24/7 Sports, by CBS, as a 5-star immediate impact player on the next level. And they're as of right now, as of today, as of August 5th, 2020. Their honorable mention, their top-rated 4-star, is Tanmizi Adeleye, a defensive end who is already committed to Ohio State, already coming from IMG Academy. So with that said, that's what I wanted to get into. I really appreciate you guys for hearing me out. Thanks for being along for the journey. I appreciate it. With that said, thanks for hearing my piece. Peace out.